All right, so what do you think I'm gonna put this to work to? Well, it's gonna kind of do everything. I'm going to get a RV style awning for it so I can use it to kind of literally camp with. It's big enough to put the side-by-side and obviously dirt bikes, and it's obviously gonna be able to fit snowmobiles. So my plan is to be able to easily be able to tow 2, potentially 3. I think I might be able to fit in here. It is 16 by 7 foot wide, and it is 2 3,500 pound axles, so it's a 7,000 pound GVWR trailer. Should be super easy to deal with. It's easy to drive, easy to turn, easy to get in tight places, so it'll be great for that. We're going to be doing some out-of-state hunting as the years progress. My buddy and I just drew both of us drew a turkey tag for Wisconsin, so we'll be leaving in the next couple weeks to go do that. And we're gonna use this to camp in. To start with, it's not gonna have too much, but my hope at the end of all this is gonna be to have a screen for that door, a screen for the back so that you can have the doors down and let air blow through the trailer. I'd like to put a couple windows in it. We're gonna have the awning on top. And I'm going to build, this is the first job that I'm gonna do, so we'll go look at the inside. My plan, and this does have an RV style door, so you can, whatever. I did grab a couple things for the trip. I got some cast iron pans so that we have fresh stuff. A tablecloth. I know that sounds stupid, but we're going to be we're going to be there 10 days. So whether we get our birds right away or not, we're going to be hanging out there for the whole time. So there's nothing wrong with being a little bit comfortable. I got some supposedly anti-bug things, lights. What else did we get? Some bug spray, some Black Rifle coffee, actually 2 bags of Black Rifle coffee. We will have a percolator with us, electric percolator. The intent with this is to be able to travel with what we need to have a shelter to be in when the weather goes bad. There's nothing worse. I mean, I love tenting, but there's nothing worse than being in tent in a thunderstorm, especially with a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. So, and my better half isn't a huge fan of lightning either. So we are going to, let me jump up in here. One of the other things I need to build is a swing away step, or maybe a permanent step. I haven't decided. This is a Dark Horse trailer. That's the brand. It seems to be pretty well built. I'm going to build, first job is this front part. I'm going to build a table that basically is going to come almost to here, all the way across. So this front part will be a nice deep counter, and I'm going to have a hidden vise to work on things. Never know when you need to fix a snowmobile or fix a side-by-side or fix a four-wheeler or a dirt bike, whatever. Never know when you need a vise. Also for sharpening chainsaws. So that kind of brings me into the next chore that this guy's going to do. So we have obviously ample room that locks and is shelter. So instead of buying a shed, and right now we're not going to have another barn built, so this thing is going to kind of act as a portable shed. I am going to use it for, as I stated, for camping and for transporting side-by-side and doing general things like that. But it's also, its day job is going to be being a working area, a shelter out of the sun, out of the rain, to do farm chores. We are going to be getting today some wood and some fence material to finish our garden. So, and because it's raining, of course, today, this has been a wet spring in Michigan. We're going to be picking up all that stuff, and it's obviously going to be in the trailer, nice and dry, so we don't start off with wood getting wet. The wood is going to be for the table, so we're going to grab a 4x8 piece of plywood, probably 1/2-inch plywood, and then some 2x4s, and that'll be the structure that we will use for this. I'll be making I think it's going to be 4 foot tall. I think I'm going to go with, and 4 foot's probably somewhere around here. I'm going to guess they put this on center at 4 foot. It's going to be about 4 foot tall, so it'll be a standing workbench, and obviously a standing place. You could have a crock pot here, you could have a coffee maker, whatever, and a standing place to sharpen chainsaws. So there should be plenty of room. I'm thinking about putting the vise. It's going to be flip. I think I'm going to make it so it flips. So maybe the top piece or corner right here will flip over, and the vise will live down below, and then it'll flip up. And there should be enough room to sharpen, I hope a 32, maybe not. Probably a 28, and less, but we'll see. I'm gonna see what I can come up with. The other thing I might do is have the vise either clamp on or bolt on. So the piece of wood that the vise is on maybe bolts on from the bottom now that I'm looking at it, so that we could space it out from the wall out here. So when we want to use the vise, it bolts on from the bottom. And that way, if chainsaw can live, power head would be right here, and the bar would be right here. And then you could sharpen it, you know, like this. So I'm thinking that maybe that, looking at this, that might be the best way to do it. But anyway, so maybe we'll go about a foot. Oops, sorry. Go about a foot. It looks really, you know, a little bit more than a foot. It's probably 15 inches, 14 inches. We'll match that over here, obviously. So we'll have a nice table that'll live in this area. And then obviously we'll have a whole lot of depth right here to put stuff. We'll leave the bottom accessible. So if I did want to put a winch down there, I don't really know why I would, but if a snowmobile ever broke and you need to get in the trailer, it definitely wouldn't break my heart to have a little winch. So you can never go wrong with a winch. Winches always find a way to be used. Winching in an elk or something on, you know, on a sled, like a game sled. Might have good use for that. Could also, you know, rig up a pulley so that you can hang animals outside and clean them. That's actually another use. You could run over here and have like a pulley up here, and you know, hang animals to, you know, clean them. That's potential use. I'm gonna have a lower shelf as well. So the intention is, obviously we have our D-rings right here, and they'd be on an angle going towards something. See that? So, we'll have a lower shelf. What I'm thinking is, you know, maybe somewhere in the middle. That way we can have a lower spot to store things, whether we're using it for chores, you know, maybe that'll be a spot to put bar oil or extra chain, bars, that kind of thing. Grinders, tools, whatever. But when we're camping, it'll be a place to put food and cooking utensils out of the way. So we're kind of thinking here about building a do-everything. The prime idea, I think, would be to maybe put a window right here on the left side of the trailer, and then another one in the door, because that would make for a good natural light. We'll be stringing some lights in here. I'm planning on having solar and batteries, rechargeable batteries, obviously a charging system, and also a shore power hookup, so we can just plug the trailer into a campsite or plug a trailer into the generator and everything in here works. So we're gonna have 120 volt plugs. We'll have a power inverter in here, obviously, to run 120 volts. And we'll have, you know, maybe some USB plugs around it. So basically, we're going to make a camper light that also functions as both equipment shelter when we're working on food plots, we're working on just general nonsense, and also a very convenient place to pick up things that are weather sensitive, like plywood that isn't treated, and 2x4s that aren't treated. So we'll have a weather safe place to put stuff. Yeah. So I think it's gonna turn out well. What do you guys think? That's kind of what I'm planning on using this for. This will be plenty of room for the side-by-side, and obviously plenty of room for, you know, a ton of dirt bikes, and also a place to camp while you're doing it. One of the best memories I have is camping in my dad's black trailer with my buddy and his girlfriend. We went up and dirt biked in Mayo. This was many, many years ago. And it was just an amazing night. We brought wood, obviously, and we cut what we could find that was deadfall on the ground, made a great campfire. He called in some coyotes to literally the campsite. It was pretty awesome. Just really fun being in nature. And this thing being shorter, and also with the wheels tucked farther back, as you can see in the pictures, I think that it's going to be really easy to back into tight places, and also easy to back into. For instance, that campsite we backed into was way back in the woods. It was like a fire road. We backed the trailer up a sand hill, up a fire road, into this camping area, and it was tight. And the trailer did it, the truck did it. I had the power wagon at the time. The thing was a beast. Not so much of a fan of the fit and finish in the 6.4. The Hemi was a piece of junk, but the capabilities that truck had, which are going to mimic any truck that has four-wheel drive, good tires, front and rear lockers, that's formula. You'll go places you'll never believe with front and rear lockers on a heavy-duty truck with good tires. But anyway, so we're gonna have, this is gonna be an adventure trailer that we're also gonna use to even sell goods from the farm. We'll probably end up bringing this to some farmers markets if we can with dahlias. We'll maybe make some arrangements in here so that we can transport things. My better half's growing dahlias, and she has like 70 or something plants growing right now. And of course we have vegetables and we have duck eggs and stuff like that. So we're kind of farm light here, starting the farm up. And so this trailer is gonna function probably 3 main goals: farm sales on the side of the road, camping, hunting, and equipment, four-wheeler, dirt bike, side-by-side transportation to camping, hunting, and trail riding activities. And then 3 is going to be a work area to store chainsaws, tools, assorted power-related equipment, and do food plots and stuff with seed staying in a sheltered environment with the equipment needed to do seeding, sprayer. We can bring water canisters in here, obviously transport a whole bunch of water to do spraying with, fertilizer, and also buy bags of fertilizer and bring them some lime, whatever. So basically it's a shelter that does everything. So that's what we're going to do with this. Tell me what you think, if you have any tips, or if you guys have built something similar or modified something similar. I mean, I didn't build it. Obviously going out and buying something like this is gonna be a lot faster than building it. I got it from, as you saw in their DR trailer sales, way down toward Milan, which is in the south of Michigan. There's a drag racing, there's a drag strip there and stuff. Small little town. It's got steel structure, seems to be pretty strong. It's a one-piece aluminum roof, which is pretty cool. Seems to be a really well-built trailer. I'm not gonna go ahead and get it wet, but the beaver tail flops down and you have a nice little transition here if you're gonna bring up something that's a little more, I mean, snowmobiles would be the prime use of something like that. I will be putting something in here to protect the floor for when it comes to snowmobiling. But basically, I want to be able to camp in this thing year round. I am planning on trying to find a RV, like heat pump thing for heat and AC. It would go somewhere about right there, so we could heat and AC this thing. We are planning on doing everything with this. So I'm 6'2". I'm standing here. I have, if I had to guess, 3 inches more than the spread of my fingers above my head where I'm standing right here off to the side. So spread of my fingers is probably, what do you guys think that is? 9 inches. So basically we got a foot on top of my head. So if I'm 6'2", we got a foot. So we got 7'2", that's what it's supposed to have. It's a plus 12 roof height. And I'm pretty sure this is gonna be tall enough for the side-by-side. I'm 6'2", and I'm standing here like this. I think we'll have plenty of room to slip the side-by-side out. About 3.5 inches above my height. And if I'm not mistaken, my head is about even with the top of the side-by-side. So basically, we will have plenty of room to spare. So that's pretty exciting. We will decorate this with maybe some American flags and, I don't know, stickers and banners from the places we go. So basically, sharing this is my version of buying an RV. I couldn't bring myself to pay a lot of money for a complete piece of junk. So instead I pay a small amount of money for something that has an all aluminum structure in terms of the outer structure, and then steel frame, steel, beams. Looks like they're, what are those, 18-inch centers on the verticals? It's probably about 18-inch center. Equipment trailers are built a lot better than RVs. RVs are literally wood. An RV would not suffice, would not pass any home inspections if it was built to be a home. And it blows my mind. I mean, I get they'd have to charge twice as much. I get it. I'm not, I get it. But like, I'm not spending 64 grand or 34 grand or whatever number it is on something that is deplorable in build quality. So I'm gonna try and make this thing my way. It's obviously not gonna be as comfortable or fancy as an RV, but I'm gonna make it my way. And it's gonna work for what we're doing with it. It should be tons of, I'm just looking at this, like, I'm standing here at the front where the table's gonna be. So my toes are probably where the table's gonna be, okay? Now, plenty of room. I also want room for the dogs to play, for my daughter to play. This thing's gonna be awesome. So what do you guys think? Give me some ideas, opinions, thoughts. You ever done it before? Let me know. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Maybe maybe you're thinking about doing something similar. And Maybe it gave you some ideas. So please remember to like, subscribe. You'll see this thing get built, and yeah, we'll go from there. First is going to be the table, and I'm going to see if I can make a screen for this before this trip. I doubt I'm going to have time to make something for the back door. I'd almost rather buy something that mounts like an RV has. The only thing is there's not a ton of room to put it. You'd have to almost inset it off of this or something. I would like to do something like an whoopsies, my hands, like an RV has, where it literally you pull down the screen and it's integral. So what I'm thinking about doing is making one for the human door for this trip and see if I can come up with something more permanent for the back here. So we'll go from there and we'll see how she turns out. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, criticisms, everything, all the good stuff. Talk to you guys later. Bye.